Greetings! Hello friends, I am Rob Chapman. Today I want to talk about learning guitar. And in particular, after 30 years of, 30 years, it's awful, of having played electric and acoustic guitar professionally, how I, with hindsight, would now approach learning if I was a complete beginner or even maybe an intermediate, kind of looking to polish up some of the areas that I think are a bit rusty. We're always going to have rusty areas, by the way, so this might be applicable to everybody. But there are lots of things I would have done differently. A few things that I completely obsessed about. I'm going to give you some very specific, actual physical things that you can take away with you. I'm going to give you some mindsets, some ideas, a structure. Yeah, because although if you're learning now, congratulations, you've been born into the information age and everything is at your fingertips, what I'm seeing a lot of are students who are given so much information that they're just overwhelmed and they don't know where to start. And there is a big focus on the things that are maybe more exciting, a bit more sort of, cool guitar stuff, and a bit of a less of a focus on things that will really help you to expand your knowledge and elevate your playing level much quicker. Yeah, it's a bit like in gaming. You want to go farming, like in Wukong, you want to find a farming area. You want to actually practice dodge and drills with the light attack and then a heavy attack. With the guitar, it's the same. You want to be farming technique. You want to be running exercises until you have the feeling of how it is to play before you move on to, for example, learning songs by your favorite metal artist or people that play crazy high dexterous stuff without learning, for example, the chord scale or the diatonic modes or the pentatonic scales. So I promise you, I'm going to give you some real stuff. Let's just start with a couple of ways of warming up, okay? And then I'll talk about gear. So here is a really cool way to warm up, and please make sure that you do this really, really, really slowly, okay? We're just going to start anywhere on the fretboard, kind of up here at the top, with the first finger, and we're just going to pick that note down. And then we're going to pick the next note up, then we're going to change string. So we're going to go to the A string, and we're going to pick down, and then we're going to go play the next note and pick up. So I've just gone like that. What an interesting tone. I experimented with fuzz pedals. So we're going to continue that all the way down. It's just down, up, but just the first and second finger, nothing else, all right? So now, did you hear that only the notes that I wanted to were ringing out? Well, that's because with my picking hand, this part of my thumb and the flesh underneath it were resting on the strings up here as I picked. So if I show you kind of a close-up of the picking hand, I'm going down, up, down, up, down, up. But my thumb is resting on these strings as I go through so that they're not able to ring out. It's not possible. And then you can do it very slowly, either with a metronome. I prefer to do it over a backing track, to be honest with you. Metronomes are a bit lifeless, a bit non-musical. But yeah, so just build the speed up slowly. If you make a mistake, you are doing it too fast. When you can go down, try going backwards, in which case you're going to start with an up pick, down, up, down. Like that. Very, very simple, yeah? But then all we do is we expand it, so we go from first to third finger, all the way down. And then from first to little finger. Now, like I said, you can do this anywhere. It doesn't matter where on the fretboard you are running this series of shapes. It's just to get the feeling of playing into your body. When you learn martial arts and you train with a really good teacher, they will just kind of fight you, push you, pull you, and what they're doing is they're training your nervous system to automatically respond to threat. It's the same here. What I'm doing is I'm trying to get your nervous system to take on board the feeling of picking and muting with simple 2 notes per string movements, nothing complicated. Okay, we'll move on from there to multiple notes. This one is a bit more advanced. Nothing is not, how am I trying to say this? Everything is achievable. It doesn't matter your skill level. You have the ability to change time. So if you just go slower, you can play anything. You understand that? If I was to show you this, you'd be thinking, I could never do that, Rob. But if I said, play this note, well, you can do that, you see? So you can play anything if you go slow enough, all right? So this exercise can be challenging, but I want you to try it very, very, very slowly and build it up, move it around. This is a classic 4 in a row, but there's a twist on it. I've combined alternate picking with sweeping in a way that makes this a little bit different. Don't let any of that put you off. This is a beginner exercise, okay? I taught this to all the beginners that studied with me when I was just full-time guitar teaching. Hand anywhere on the fretboard. Put your little finger down and you're going to have all 4 fingers on the fretboard, anywhere, okay? We're just going to pick up, down, up, down. So I've gone backwards 4 notes, yeah? I've already had those fingers established in position and I'm going like that. You can do that. Doesn't matter how slow you do it. Make sure your thumb is on the back of the neck. Make sure your wrist is sunk, your shoulder is relaxed. Don't be doing it like this. And don't be doing it like this, okay? So once you can go 4 in a row, and you've gone up, down, that's very important, okay? We're starting with the up. Then we're going to go up, first finger on that B string. And then we're going to go up again, 3rd finger on the G string. And then we're going to go up again, little finger on the D string. So I've gone backwards 4 notes, and then I've gone up, up, up. And I've done it like I'm strumming a chord. It's called sweeping. So far you've got this. Then, from here, we're going to do 4 back again. Down, up, down. All along the same string. And then, we're going to mirror image that sweeping section. So we're going to go down to the G string, down to the B string, down to the E string. And you've got a loop, something that loops. Things that loop are great because it means you can drill them slowly. Yeah? So here is a slow version of this exercise. Sorry if this microphone's in the way. Doesn't sound musical. It's not supposed to. It's just an exercise, yeah? So when you start to build it up... Now, of course, you can move this. It doesn't have to be static. Once you've done 1, you see? It doesn't need to be in one area. It's just a playground. But all this is doing is building up the dexterity. Okay, let's quickly talk about gear. It doesn't really matter what you buy. It doesn't, honestly. Nowadays, all guitars are kind of good. You might find a dog now and then, but it would be really unusual to find a guitar that wasn't just good, you know. Most amplifiers are fine. Bear in mind your budget. Work to a budget. I would split it 50-50 between the amp and the guitar, personally. Other people in the comment section will disagree, and that's completely fine. That's part of the joy of this wonderful, friendly guitar community. But just listen, here's my rule. This is what I told my students when I taught. Buy the gear that gets you excited. It's really the most important thing when you're starting, because if you look at this beautiful Chapman ML3 semi-hollow SAR, it's the Sarge, it's the Chris Robertson signature model. It smells beautiful, it's semi-hollow, it sounds absolutely phenomenal. When I look at this, I want to pick it up and I want to play. And if I'm picking up and playing, I'm going to be incrementally improving my ability level. So don't buy a guitar that you think will retain its value if you need to sell it. That's immediately the wrong mindset. Please don't buy stuff that you think will make you money. A waste of time in guitar playing, music making world. Buy a guitar that you think is cool, that you want to pick it up and shred on it. Buy an amp that you think is cool, because you can pretty much make most amps sound good, you know? By the way, I'm not even using an amp. I'm plugged into a NuX Trident, which I'm running through my interface directly into my laptop. So you're hearing a not amp. I mean, I have a speaker here playing it back to me in the room. But so gear, you're going to buy loads of gear if you're beginning. You're going to buy hundreds of pedals and loads of guitars. Trust me, you really will. Loads of amps. Now is the time to experiment with cool stuff. Just buy whatever you think is exciting to you, okay? Right, next point. Because it's so easy to get overwhelmed with all of the... You got to learn 3-note per string diatonic modes, and you got to learn all of the positions of the melodic... There's a lot you can learn, yeah? Let me give you an analogy. It's like cooking. So I love food. It's a problem. I love Asian food. I love all food, and I'd like to be able to cook, you know, food from Bali, food from Jamaica, food like Ital stuff, or I'd like to be able to make food from Japan. But each of those culinary areas is a lifetime's worth of work, yeah? Same with music. You might love lots of genres, but predominantly there will be one or two that stick out to you that really get you excited about playing guitar, playing music, yeah? Focus on the things you love, yeah, and it's important to cross-train. Again, with the martial arts thing, it's important to do some skipping, do some running, do some wrestling if you're a boxer, that kind of thing. It's important to go and look at country guitar players, go and look at jazz guitar players, because some of the things that you'll learn will be applicable to the thing that you love. And you might not know that at the time, but I mean, when I studied jazz and country at the Guitar Institute in London, I didn't think any of it was relevant, and now it's so relevant to what I do. But here's a hack for you, kind of a hack. There are a finite number of things to learn. You have a lifetime to learn them. But what people don't really bear in mind is that it comes down to what do you do over a chord. Simple as that, okay? So here's an A chord. That's how I play an A chord. Now it's an A major chord. I'm just using one finger, by the way. What does Rob Chapman play over an A chord? You will have heard it a whole load of times. I do this. That's one of the things Rob Chapman plays over an A chord. Here's another thing. There are lots of things I have constructed that I play over my A chord. What does Rob Chapman play over an E, a D minor, a C, a G? I've considered this. You can consider this at any point in your learning trajectory, okay? It doesn't matter if you are still learning basics of pentatonic scales and, you know, what strings called what. Your ear knows all of the theory, but doesn't know it. It knows what it likes to listen to. So if you play a chord and you think, I like the sound of this note, I don't know what this note is or what scale it's from, but I like it, well then you've got something. So maybe put it in the chord, and then suddenly you've got a cool chord. By the way, that's a 9 chord. You could also do it here. It's a 1, a 5, and then a 2 up the octave, a 9. So let your ear be your teacher as much as possible. And every chord you're going to play over, and the majority of them will be C, D, E, F, G, you know, majors and minor variants. Make a decision about what you play over those chords, so that when you get a song and it goes... I mean, that's such a common progression. What are you playing over that G? Because I would go... ba-dum-ba-ba-bow, ba-ba-da-da-da, because I always do my Mixolydian over the A. In that instance, that's me. That's what I speak from my music. You can make these decisions now, and it's exciting to start thinking, all right, I get to choose what I play over when I play a D minor, D major, whatever it is. It's part of your musical DNA, yeah? That's an exciting, exciting thing. Okay, let me give you a theory thing that will radically help everything that you do and give you kind of a shortcut to, and I know this is a long video, but please, just if you get bored, stop, have a coffee, come back in. And if you're new to this channel, please subscribe and like, because it would help. So, this is a chord scale. If you know this, please keep watching anyway. It's important for you. Here is a scale. Ready? I'm going to play a scale of C major. Doesn't matter about the notes and the way I played it. That's just a C major scale. Here's another one, same thing. So, each of those notes, we number them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 is the same note as that C. Okay? Each of those notes, rather than being a note, could be a chord. I'm giving you the matrix of how you write songs in about 10 minutes, okay? Maybe 5 minutes if we're lucky. So here's that first note, C. I'm going to play a C major chord. By the way, play that C major chord any way you like. It's your C major chord, not mine, okay? So C. That's the first chord of that scale. Next note is D. So we're going to play D, but this D is a D minor chord. Next note, C, D, E, is an E minor chord. This is the most metal chord of all because you can play it like this, okay? So you've got C major, D minor, E minor. Then you've got F major. Try the bar chord like this. Push from the middle of your finger, not the tip, because it will bend like that. So push from the middle and make that E major shape upper fret, yeah? So F major. Then you've got G major. Then you've got A minor. Then you've got D minor 7 flat 5. It's half diminished. But instead of playing that, you could just play a minor chord. You could substitute it. But here's how the chord looks. Wait. Here it is. But instead, you could just do a minor chord. It's called a substitution. So, all of those chords form the key of C. If you put a capo here and play the chords here, it would be the key of C sharp. You can play those chords in any order and they will work together, okay? Let's just test that hypothesis. Let's go A minor, D minor, G. Let's do E minor, F, G. They all work. They're connected in a key. Any order. That's how you write songs, okay? Take the chords from a chord scale and reorder them and then find notes in them that you could change. So that A minor, let's do that A9. This C, let's do this kind of C. So we're going to go. Wait. That's it. So A9. See what I'm doing? I'm just changing the chord slightly. I'm adding little notes in, entirely up to your ear what the note is. Learn the chord scale. And don't just learn it down here cowboy style. Learn it going along. Yeah? So you could do it with regular bar chords. As you go along the fretboard, and all of that's on the internet for you. Checking my notes, is there anything else you would do? Yeah, I managed to cover absolutely everything in my notes, which is quite mind-blowing. So enjoy learning. Don't let anyone put you off. People will tell you that you can't play. Fuck them. Just play. and just enjoy the experience. Love the gear, love the music, love exercises. Create an environment where you feel full of energy and excitement to pick up a guitar and start playing. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Chappers out.